This is Public Access Signals from the Other Side, Part 14. We've had a very action-packed couple of sessions in the wake of the Night of the Bone Wolves. Lots going on. 2 active mysteries currently. We'll talk about those in a moment. I actually want to check in with the Latchkeys first. Quite a lot of conditions on these Latchkeys, with the exception of Sean, who just has 1, but everyone else has a lot going on. So, maybe you're all due for a day of relaxation and rest, say. Also, it's been a little bit. The dream is still an ongoing problem for the community. I think that Sheriff Bill and his department were able to get the situation in La Fresca in hand and a little more orderly. You are keenly aware in the ensuing days that Flo Jackson is in town. She is essentially engaging in corporate espionage, trying to figure out the deal with this ice cream for her employers. And also, Chucho Churros is on the case as well. So the dream, there's a lot going on, but it's just sort of simmering right now. I will say that ever since Stuart's death, Geraldine Ambrose has started to be a little clingy. She's stayed here in the community, for one thing. She's even popped by 26 Rodenbecker a couple of times, always when you're out, Sean. And she is surprisingly needy as far as people go. So just something to know about her. You also have the Whisper, still an issue after all the strange events at Playa Morado. It's something that's weighing very heavily still on Sheriff Bill, and therefore it's by association weighing heavily on the Latchkeys. But all of that we're putting behind us for a little bit as we introduce our third mystery, which you can all follow along with as you wish. Convergence. A shuttle is taking you to Converge, a posh wellness resort situated in a remote corner of the county. It's a slow journey, winding through hills and speeding across flats. A recording about the history of the region plays over the shuttle's sound system, but it's all banal trivia you've heard a million times since you were a kid. The Latchkeys received a comped stay at this resort from an anonymous benefactor, someone who appreciates the work you've been doing shedding light on some of the area's mysteries. This invitation is a special thing. Converge is the sort of place the intergenerationally wealthy come to reset their special airs, a perfectly manicured hospitality experience with an emphasis on the healing power of music and sound. And perhaps you could use a little bit of that healing magic, especially after what you went through with the Great Hungers, in La Fresca, and White Spray, and Playa Morado. Obviously, Tover, you are there in spirit and not as necessarily bound to this mystery as the others are right now. Nevertheless, everybody will answer the question. Why do you each expect to feel out of place at Converge?
Well, no one's going to see me or talk to me. I'm not going to be able to get any spa stuff.
A fair point.
For Ashley, it's to focus on sound and music. But given her past and her mother's belief in frequencies that were wrong with her, she's just going to feel like, well, what if we hit the wrong frequency? What if something here is gonna make me snap again? So she's just gonna walk on eggshells the entire time.
Nathan has had a consistent issue in his life, which is when he is at a place where you are supposed to feel one way, he will feel anything but that way. So being at a place where you're expected to relax and unwind, the expectation and pressure of needing to relax and unwind will stress him out more than anything.
Sean spent Sean has never had a whole lot of money, and being around a lot of people who have, he's going to feel definitely like he sticks out.
Indeed. There are strings attached to all of this, of course. The audio recording you've been listening to abruptly changes. A disguised voice addresses you each by name, except for Topher. And then says, I really do want you to get some well-earned rest, but I'm afraid there's another reason for your stay at Converge. The details then flow in a nearly incoherent stream. There's a whole thing about the convergence of celestial bodies, a secret cult of the rich and powerful known as the Harmony, and an inevitable human sacrifice. Most importantly, the person on the recording has tasked you all with putting a stop to this ritual activity. As the recording reaches its conclusion, the shuttle driver, Rory, ejects the CD, snaps it in half in his hand, and tosses one half out the window and remarks, how about we don't tell anyone we heard any of that? I'm going to pose the question to Nathan. During the drive, you saw a figure in a long, cowled robe standing on the side of the road. The sight made you feel strangely at home, but no one else seemed to notice it at all. In character, describe to the Latchkeys what you saw and how it made you feel.
There was this guy. I assume it was a guy. I mean, I couldn't tell. This They were wearing this robe, I guess. I mean, like we were driving by and it was like what you'd expect from like an old like medieval like friar, just this dark cowled robe, and despite the brightness coming off of the desert, like I couldn't see his face. There was heat coming off the asphalt, but something about the figure didn't remind me of wearing too many layers or being sweaty. I don't know how to explain it, but it felt it felt comforting. It felt kind of it reminded me of safety, which is really weird considering the strangeness of it all. But the figure with its arms clasped in its own sleeves, a face covered in shadow, watching us as we pass by. Maybe I'm just kind of phrasing this a little too flowery, but it was like I felt like I was being watched, not in a bad way, watched over, like a guardian, something or someone that calmly vigilant on our path. I don't know. That's kind of a weird way to put it, but I don't know. It's like how I felt.
Okay.
Yeah, the entire time he was saying that, Nathan was staring out the window, like waxing dramatically. Um. Oh my God, was I saying that out loud?
Yeah.
Yeah. But hey, that's nice. You have a guardian angel. Sort of. In the form of a medieval friar.
Well, I know you didn't have like the hair. Okay. I'm gonna stop talking now.
You don't
You all
have
should
to.
know, out of character, Elliot and Casey are absolutely fucking wrecking 26 Rodenbecker Street right now. Just so you know.
I'm just happy they're not here.
Yeah, but they have a phone.
Oh God.
And they're probably partying with Geraldine.
Questions and opportunities. So you have two questions here. The first is, which person at Converge has been marked for sacrifice? It's a complexity six rather. The opportunity, resolve the mystery by getting that person safely out of the Harmony's reach. The Harmony will be an ongoing danger in the campaign. The other question, when and where will the Harmony's ritual take place? It's a complexity 8, opportunity, resolve the mystery by confronting the Harmony and putting a stop to their plans. The Harmony will cease being an ongoing danger in the campaign. And so those are the two questions. There is no particular key here. And the shuttle arrives at Converge. It is well, it looks a little culty, if I'm being honest. A lot of folks are wearing sort of flowing white, two-piece, little kind of outfits. Some people are a little bit more casually dressed in robes and things like that. Everyone is very like preternaturally calm, it seems like. And you can see occasionally someone stops along a path and they pick up a little gong ringer and they ring a gong hanging there and the sound vibrates out. Everyone stops to hear it, like they're processing it, like they're taking it in, and then they just continue on their way. You are met at the shuttle by a man who is wearing all white, polo shirt, shorts, seems very well put together. Perfect hair, perfect teeth. He says, "Hello, welcome to Converge. My name is Halston. I'm the resort manager. I'm led to believe that you're our comped guests this weekend."
Indeed.
Well, that's all right. Just because you didn't pay to be here doesn't mean you're not going to get the exceptional Converge experience that all of our guests have come to understand and love. We have many people who come to Converge and who stay here for weeks, even months at a time. Some people come just to recharge briefly. We have a wide variety of experiences and expectations we're ready to meet for you. I'd be happy to give you a tour of the place.
Sounds lovely.
Yeah, tour sounds real nice. You said months? There are some people who stay here for months?
Yes, we have an occasional long-term guest.
People can afford to do that?
Converge is the sort of place where people don't like to talk about money. This way.
What do they do for months here?
I don't know.
Relax.
Someone rings a gong. Gong.
Nathan
Listen
jumps
to
every
that
time that
thing.
gong rings. full on
Ashley pretends to jump because Nathan jumps, but actually she hates it.
full on Mr. Green from Clue. Every time the gong rings, he just starts.
Now, of course, we're going to take you. Somebody will take your bags to your rooms, and I'll show you to your rooms as soon as we're done with a tour of the grounds. Over this direction is our treatment center. Aside from standard spa services like masseurs and the sauna and body waxing, we also have a massive sound bath and sensory deprivation chamber. You should certainly look into that. And down there, that tall cylindrical structure, that's the conservatory. I think that's best experienced firsthand. I don't want to spoil the surprise for you, but let's just say we here at Converge are very, very proud of it. The dining plaza is over that way. And of course, you are free to make use of the shuttle as you wish. The shuttle runs almost at all hours of the day. Rory is very, very available. And so if you need to go back to town for some reason, he's the man. He kind of goes on. You might notice a few of our guests trekking out into the desert just beyond the perimeter of the resort. And indeed, you can see a group of people in white kind of moving out in that direction. He says, they're in the middle of a little pilgrimage to a part of the property we like to call the center of the universe. It's a very, very special place on the grounds. Some people think it's where a bunch of ley lines meet, which is, I don't know how much stock I put in that, but nevertheless, a place of great interest to our guests. And at this point, you'll hear noises that quite shatter the ambiance. Very, very loud, like basically like Grateful Dead, type, dad rock music. And you can see just past the property line in the corner where you're at, there are 4 massive walls of speakers that have been piled high. They're almost as big as a house, facing toward each other. A gigantic nested complex of cables all around it. And a sign that says Tweedled's Hi-Fi. He says, I do apologize. That's our unruly neighbor, and despite our best efforts, we have not been able to get him to move yet. But it's a free country, and I suppose we can't just violently force him off the property, no matter how much we might want to. He kind of shows you a few other things and says, your rooms. And he takes you to the guest room complex. You'll notice as he takes you into each of your rooms that Converge embraces a concept of communal transparency. Each guest room has, they're connected by a giant glass wall, so you can always look into each room. This glass is perfectly seamless, aside from a doorway in the middle, which is what he brings you into to give you each of your room. But beautiful panoramic views of rugged hills and swooping desert valleys. It's quite lovely, but no privacy whatsoever. If there's anything else, don't hesitate to come find myself or one of the Converge staff. We'd be more than happy to help you.
Do the premises have like a television or something like that?
No. Here at Converge, we believe that such things are a distraction from connecting with the body's natural harmonies. Well, enjoy your stay.
As he leaves, Sean's gonna just lean over to Ashley and say, so he's absolutely in the cult, right?
I mean, yes, like they all have to be, right?
Great.
I mean, I think there's a difference between like the wellness cult and then like the cult.
Are we sure?
How are you
No.
gonna commit murder here without anyone seeing it?
Topher knocks
Asking
6
for
times
the
on the wall.
Anyone hear that?
Yes, I'm not sure how you would interpret it though.
Is that another like meditative thing, like knocks on the walls?
Oh, that's
Have we
probably
established that as a way that Topher might communicate?
Eh,
I actually think
sorta,
it's
kinda.
Topher. But she doesn't know what Topher means, but she thinks it's Topher. She's like, okay, thank you, 6 knocks. She kind of like shrugs at the wall. I mean, that's why I wanted a TV. God damn it.
Oh boy.
Anyway, we'll just relax, play along, and find out who's in the murder cult.
Yeah, okay. How do we know that they don't already know we're here?
Oh, they probably do. They might.
Oh, comforting. Love that. Okay.
I mean, just be on your guard, I guess.
Okay. Well, I'm feeling a little I'm feeling a little hungry, but I get the idea that that dining plaza isn't like a cafeteria. I think it's more of like a time you gotta assemble to eat here. So okay.
While you're all having this conversation, Sean, you'll notice walking across the sort of communal balcony just outside these or communal patio just outside the glass walls, you'll notice Tets Falcone, who is the lead singer of a band called Golden Boom. They've had 2 songs hit the top 40 in the past year. They split up recently, citing artistic differences, but you definitely know him. Big pop star. Frosted tips, rimless sunglasses, cargo shorts. What do you do?
Sean's going to like first kind of squint in his direction, and then his mouth's going to drop open, and he's just going to grab Nathan's arm. Say, Nathan, Nathan,
What? Did you find the cult?
no, that's Tets Falcone.
Oh my god. Who's Tets Falcone?
Philistines. And he's going to just rush over in that direction.
Did he just call me a Philistine?
Seems like he did.
I don't know how to feel.
Topher, you kind of have the run of the place right now, even if you don't have any easy, immediate ways of communicating with people. What do you do?
I think that Topher wants to follow around Halston, like basically
Oh.
shadow him, figure out his routine, because he is very suspicious and weird.
The first thing you see is he's just checking in on people he considers to be VIPs. He heads over to treatment. I think treatment is where most of the guests stay at most times, or where they're at. And he's talking to a person you also recognize, Abigail Stratford. She is the CEO of a streaming audio company. Streaming audio is kind of a new thing. And she's the kind of person who's been in magazines and all kinds of like features, tech features. And in recent months, she's wearing a Patagonia puffy vest and high and tight socialite ponytail. And she's like, begins complaining immediately to Halston about something, and she ends her complaint with, to change the world, you can't just be the best. You have to be the best for an audience of 6 billion. That's the level I'm operating on, Halston. You have so much less to do to be the best here. So what can we do to fix this? And Halston just smiles and says, I do apologize, Ms. Stratford. Converge is known, of course, for delivering at the highest possible levels, and at this moment we've clearly fallen short. I'll do my best to make it right. And she's like, thank you. And he kind of continues on. That's what he's doing, Topher. He's just checking in with with VIPs and stuff. What do you? So I'll give you a meddling move with reason just to see if you notice anything
For sure.
worth noticing.
Pull up die roller. Am I at disadvantage for any of my conditions?
I don't think so. Yeah.
All right, cool. My reason is, I believe, 0. Yeah, so that is 7.
Okay, great. We'll come back to this. Sean, were you going to follow Tet Falcone?
Absolutely.
He's, he's there. You'll notice just like when he thinks no one is looking, he pulls out a flask and like starts downing some kind of booze from a flask and then quickly puts it away. In fact, that might be what causes him to notice you. He's kind of startled. He's like, "Oh, hey,
Hey, Mr.
namaste,"
Falcone.
and all that.
Oh, is that what we do? Okay. Namaste. Yeah.
He's like, "I haven't seen you around here before. Did you just check in?"
Yes, just got here.
Cool. What's that on your shirt? Is that like a
That's
cult thing?
No, it's a Triforce.
Cool.
Yeah. I just want to say I'm like a big fan. I think you're great, and
Yeah, well, it's
Golden
all over
Boom didn't
now.
deserve you.
So
You're
yeah.
gonna do really cool things without them though, because like you're you, and yeah.
Thank you. That's what I tried to tell the rest of Golden Boom. You can either be in the crowd or you can be on the pedestal. You know what I mean? You know what's in between those two things? Security, and that's for losers. And I am not a loser. Are you a loser?
No, yeah.
Are you security?
No, I am Sean.
Okay, Sean. Well, it's nice to meet you. If you ever want to like go somewhere in this world, you should consider changing your name
Okay.
to something a little more exciting, something people remember.
Yeah, I mean it doesn't have an H, so that's pretty different, right? Some people call me Scene.
It's
Anyway,
first step. It's first step for sure. Cool. I'm
okay,
heading over to treatment. If you want to come with.
Yeah, yes, that sounds good. Treatment.
Cool. And he heads that direction, walking along these little narrow, narrow sidewalks with perfectly manicured sort of, succulent grounds and sand and things. Meanwhile, Nathan, what are you up to, Ashley?
I think after like Nathan awkwardly gets to his room, unpacks, and just kind of generally like makes do with things, he's just gonna like sit on whatever furnishing is in the room awkwardly for a moment, like drum his fingers against his thighs, kind of be like, okay, and then like get up and gonna go check out the treatment center, because I mean that sounds like, I don't know about this whole like sauna waxing thing, but I don't know, maybe a massage. Oh, that sounds uncomfortable, but maybe a massage is what he needs. Maybe a dip in a hot tub if they have a pool or a hot tub. He just is trying to force himself into relaxing.
You get a text message from Elliot. He says, Jerry, that's what he calls her.
Mm-hmm.
Jerry's showing us Muffy the Zombie Killer, and this show is fucking sick. I can't believe I missed all this when I was in another dimension.
He despite himself, there is a bit of like a smile that comes to Nathan, and he just rolled text back. Yeah, there's been a lot of rad things the last 10 years. Send.
Very good. Ashley, what are you up to?
I mean, everybody just left her, so she kind of gives like this look around, like, y'all bitches. And then I think I think the sound of the gong is making her very uncomfortable, and there's no TV to contact Topher. So I think she's going to walk out into the desert. And like as a player, I think I would be interested to see if I could contact the big man since I finally got the ability to do so.
Do you want to head out to the center of the universe?
Hell yeah, let's do it. What
Sounds
could
good.
possibly go wrong?
I think as you're walking there, maybe you come up alongside, or they come up alongside you, a person who introduces himself as Elio Moonfather Saturn. He tells you, the leader of a religious group called the Rings of Heaven. And he says, I love being in the center of the universe. It's like being on Mars. And that's always exciting.
I would imagine so. I've never been to Mars.
He says, oh, it's wonderful. It's certainly the future of our species. My group and I, we astrally project to Mars on quite a regular basis.
That's something anyone could do? Is that
Well, you have to, of course, achieve certain levels of mind-body synchronicity. They have to communicate with one another, and most people are not really up to that task. But I would be happy to share with you some literature. We're always looking for exemplary humans to help raise us to a greater plane of existence.
do some people, when you astrally project, where do you go and do some people stay?
He gives you a very calm, peaceful look. He's wearing flowy clothing, a very guru-like goatee. And instead of answering your questions, he says, my father was an alien, and my mother was a Greek goddess. And then he turns and keeps walking.
Yeah. Well, my dad was really sad and my mom tried to kill me, so
Nice. Let's check in with Topher, who I owe a clue to. Interesting. So you're just watching Halston roam around and do different things.
Just creeping.
Yeah. He actually goes to his office at a certain point. And the complication is he has his back to you and you can't quite see what he's looking at. You're going to have to further push ahead. But he opens up a drawer in his file cabinet and he starts saying, muttering, oh, you're still there. Good. It's almost time for the alignment. You will soon have your role to play in all of this. And then he closes the drawer. There's clearly something in there he was looking at and talking to. And then he sits down and starts working on some spreadsheets on his computer. So your clue is in that drawer. What do you do?
I think they're just gonna start slowly opening it back up.
Oh, and just hope that he doesn't notice it's opening on its own.
Or if he does, that maybe he thinks whatever's in there is opening it. Either way.
Day move. What are you afraid is going to happen if he notices the drawer opening?
Well, that this guy has some weird ghost sense and he's gonna ghost kill Topher, I guess.
Okay. Roll with composure. And I think because of I am signals, I'm going to put you at disadvantage. If you have something in your corner of the house that might help, it might be a good time. I'm not sure what.
Uh,
You've used a fair amount of your stuff already, so.
yeah. No, I think I'll just take the 6.
Very good. We'll come back to this. So Nathan, after you're done monologuing, what do you do?
I go to the treatment center,
Indeed.
and we'll go check out some of the services there.
You can see Sean and Tets Falcone up ahead walking on the path. Do you join them or do you go in separately?
He'll just hold up a hand to wave, and then go in separately, whether or
Ted
not
says,
they notice him.
Hold on a second. That's a fanboy that wants an autograph. You try to get away from these people, but it's impossible. And Tet stops and says, "It's okay. Come here, friend. I'm happy to sign whatever you want me to sign."
Oh no, I didn't want an autograph. Just waving to my friend Sean.
Do you know who I
Nice
am,
shot.
though, right?
Sean told me you're Tets Falcone. You're a musician.
He turns and he says, when he says Sean, is he referring to you?
Yeah, Sean.
This guy sucks.
He's not so bad once you get to know him.
You know, having friends who suck, that's very security behavior.
What are you guys talking about?
You.
Did you say my name? Sorry,
No.
There's these walkways are really winding. It's taking me a while to get over to you. I'm just gonna go inside. I'll catch up with you guys later.
Bye.
Let's talk about the treatment center, or it's just called treatment. I love this mystery. It's so fun. Aside from standard spa services like a masseuse, sauna, and body waxing, Converge's treatment facility includes a massive sound bath and sensory deprivation chamber. It's essentially a shallow pool of hot spring water, heavily salted from natural deposits, lying beneath a geodesic dome. The interior of the whole space is architected and sound dampened to a point where you can barely hear yourself speak. You can see people in this pool floating effortlessly across the surface, losing themselves in the cavernous space and mellow instrumentals. And outside of the pool, all on the perimeter, is where various other services are being done. Let's paint the scene, everyone. How has some familiar spa service been transformed into something extra here at Converge?
Think that instead of mud masks, they are doing this weird mayonnaise and table pepper mask. Don't know why. They just say that it helps align your soul.
The massage tables, instead of normal padded beds, they have padding, but they are gigantic subwoofers to send the vibes directly into your body.
There's a sauna, but instead of using, hot stones and heat to make it so warm, they use vibrations, like how bees would gather together and just vibrate a wasp to death. That's sort of why it's so hot, because the frequencies are aligning.
There's a mud bath kind of place, but they the tubs, they fill you, you're in the mud bath, but then they let the mud harden almost into cracked desert texture dirt, and then the attendants come and make weird vibratory ooh as they crack the dirt to get you out of it.
Nice. Sean, Tets knows this place really well, and he can kind of direct you to whatever services you might be interested in. He is going to go get in the sensory deprivation pool. He's like, so what kind of experience are you trying to have this weekend?
Oh, the the usual relaxation, rest, not getting killed.
He's like, well, you should definitely try the sensory deprivation pool. It's totally bitchin'. Here, follow me.
Oh, yeah, sounds good. Do you
And
you come here a lot?
he disrobes. He's like, yes, I find that the best way to clear my mind from all the haters is to completely detach from all sensory input.
Right, yeah, that makes sense. Do we just swimsuits?
He's like, I prefer to go naturel, and he disrobes completely.
Okay. Right. Do you huh, is there anything different about the way things changed around here lately?
He's
You
like,
think
what's your
maybe?
favorite Golden Boom song?
Oh, definitely Ride on Sunlight.
Okay, cool. I wrote that one.
Yeah, I know. I know. It's real good. Just hits.
Yeah, I
Right.
know. Cool. All right, so in we go. And he
Oh,
wades into
to
the
get
pool.
okay, same tank. Oh,
Yeah, it's all one big pool.
right on. Yep.
Meanwhile, Nathan, you're approached by a very, like, pretty big, jacked dude who's dressed as spa staff, except his white shirt is sleeveless and he has full floral tattoo sleeves on his arms and all kinds of piercings and stuff. And he says, welcome to treatment. My name is Sutton. You look like you're feeling a little on edge about all of this.
Yes, yes.
He's like, sorry, I can't really hear you. It's the sound dampening.
Yeah, yes.
Let me just help you out with that.
Mhm,
And he
mhm,
starts like
mhm.
massaging your shoulders.
Oh, okay. Ooh, okay. Actually, no, okay, nice. Oh,
Just take a breath. We've got this. We've got you. There. How's that? Just nod. That's what I thought.
yeah, massage sounds nice. Let's, yeah, I could use one of those.
And he'll kind of direct you over to a massage table. Meanwhile, Ashley Oaks, you reach the center of the universe. A short paved hike takes you to a circular outcropping that Converge declares to be the center of the universe. The rocks here are weird, like fossilized viscera dropped from the sky, shaped by a giant toddler's hands. Sound bounces in surprising ways. You can hear whispers from across the way as if they're next to you. Strips of polished quartz on the ground all lead to the center, supposedly marking the world's major ley lines. Let's paint the scene. A series of thin pillars installed by the resort softly play live audio from sacred sites and landmarks around the world. What's something you can hear?
Think it's hard to tell at first, but it sounds like the dripping of water in a cave, the splash of it as it echoes in a cave complex. And it is supposedly the sound from the cave in which Jesus came back to life.
There's a very aquatic sounding speaker. It's one of those deep water, like radar kind of like things where you can also kind of like hear like whale song. from the recorded live from the Great Barrier Reef.
There's the sound of wind rustling grass and brushing past some objects, and it is a microphone located at Stonehenge.
I think that we see the camera very suddenly cut to not ancient Egypt, but Egypt, to the Sphinx. And we see someone has planted a microphone directly in the Sphinx's ear. And there is a sandstorm. You can hear that over the speakers.
Now, Ashley, we have a special rule in this location. The 12 plus result on the meddling move is replaced with the following. On a 12 plus, you also find a TV and VCR on one of those old gray carts like the teacher used to roll out on movie day. So, what do you do?
I think she steps out onto this place where all the ley lines meet, looks around, closes her eyes, and just, well, she thinks that she really misses Topher. And she thinks that where Topher is, that's really the only place she wants to be because that's where her only friend is. And at the core of all that, that must be where they are. And that must be where they need to be killed and eradicated. So I think she's just kind of, well, he said I can astral project. All my friends are apparently going to this random dimension. Let's go.
I love it. Make the meddling move with sensitivity.
Hell yeah. Let me look at my, oh, don't bite me. Let me look at my items.
Yeah, if you can get that 12, you can
Exactly, I want that 12. Um, can I make a case for my pet lyrebird who so like a lyrebird, the thing is they can like imitate basically any sound in the world. And I think as I start to close my eyes and I'm like thinking about this other dimension, I think Lila, being a bird and perhaps not fully functioning in human ways, has actually remembered some stuff. And she like says, I'm sorry, I'm bad with words. She's like saying things that Sean would have said to her when we watched like Jean-Claude Van Damme movies. I think she hears like Sean saying, "It's not fine, Ashley." We hear like Topher's voice and like all these memories that she doesn't have, but kind of like connecting her to these other
interesting.
memories.
Yeah, I like that. Go ahead and roll advantage.
Come on. It's only now 11.
You can turn a key.
I could turn a key. Hell yeah, let's do it.
Very good. Let's check in with Topher. You're behind Halston, who's working on a spreadsheet. You'll notice if you glance over Halston's shoulder, he's just typing the same thing in every cell over and over again. He's just typing in null, 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 enter, null, enter. And then he says, I don't know who you are, but I can tell you're very, very interested in what's inside that drawer. Let me show you. He stands up and opens the drawer, and your clue is inside the drawer, which I'll tell you, give it to you now. The clue is a crown that's fashioned from thorns, herbs. You'd think you might spy tarragon in there, guitar strings, and other wire type things. It's a really, really bizarre thing. He holds it up and he says, "Would you like to wear this? Would you like to put this on?" I suppose you can't answer me directly. Nevertheless, and he turns and he holds the crown in the general vicinity of where you're at. And you can feel, you can see briefly what it is the harmony intends to do. When the harmony completes the alignment, which is set to take place at the end of a long weekend, when the harmony completes the alignment, they will raise an epic structure of screaming flesh from the ground, a towering horror belting out a distorted cacophony of songs from across the millennia, its oral hellbeam obliterating all in its path like a discordant Death Star. So powerful that even in just a vision, even in just a glimpse, as it unleashes its terrible hellbeam, you are eradicated completely, Topher. And Halston smiles and says, "I wonder if anyone ever finished getting all those towels out of the dryer." And he puts the crown back in the drawer and closes it. Let's take a 5-minute break. We're back. Topher, are you going to turn a key?
Yeah.
Okay.
I almost didn't because I really, really, really love Meat Tower Hellbeam. I think that's great. I want that to be canon so bad that I almost was willing to sacrifice Topher for it. Almost.
I mean, it is what the Harmony is trying to accomplish, so it could still happen, I suppose.
I'm going to mark a Key of the Child flashback to when you realized your parents were imperfect.
Do you want to do that now, or do you want to wait?
I have it ready, but I feel like it could be saved for a more thematic moment.
Okay. So you have your clue. I'm not going to put any extra. Or no, you just got a 7 and 9 for the day move. So I have to tell you how you'll be vulnerable. Basically, if you want the clue, if you want credit for the clue to actually see inside the drawer, I'm going to... I'm going to change I am signals to marked by the Harmony. I'm not going to make you turn another key for that, but that's what will happen.
Interesting. How does that work with the custom move for I am signals?
Oh, you have a custom move for that. Oh, change it to marked by Ed. Change the marked by Ed Rogelski one instead, then.
Okay. And marked by the Harmony? Is that what you said?
By the Harmony, yeah. And you have your clue, which is the crown.
All right.
What do you do after that?
I think that so did Topher still like see any of that horrible hellbeam shit?
No.
All right. Then in that case, I think Topher is going to go and check out Tweedled's Hi-Fi.
Okay. Sounds good. Very good. Sean, Tetz floats next to you and he whispers, which is kind of all you can hear. He says, I know this is supposed to be a sensory deprivation thing, but once we're done here, We should go to the conservatory.
Okay. Why?
Because that's where I do all of my best work. I mean, just think about it. For you, it could be the equivalent of watching Michelangelo paint the Last Supper or whatever.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Okay. Uh, that sounds good.
Right. Good. I knew you'd want to be there when history was being made.
History that you're making, not like other things happening, right?
Right.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I get like a really weird vibe from this place. Is this a weird place?
Make the meddling move with presence.
Not my best stuff. Still 9.
Okay. Come back to this. Nathan, how's the massage?
Really uncomfortable at first, but actually now it's starting to like melt in and be actually a little nice. Actually, he has a lot of tension in his body. He doesn't realize that he's never really relaxed his body before, apparently.
Sutton, you can't really hear what he's saying, but you can't make out the words. So it's just like a series of like muffled, soothing sounds.
Mm.
Like, oh, 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 oh.
Okay. Yeah, Nathan feels like weird about that, but he's not gonna raise a comment. Although, I don't know.
Well, it's just because of the sound dampening. You can't make out what
Yeah.
he's saying.
Oh, gotcha.
He's
Okay.
he's not actually saying those noises.
Nathan's kind of like straining to like listen a little bit more. Just is like, sorry, didn't quite catch that.
You make out just one word. Planet.
Yeah, I worked on that. Yeah. Okay. Sure, why not? I might as well. What is about to happen in this location?
Oh, yeah. A good question.
Yeah.
I think Sutton's just going to like let you know that dinner's going to be ready soon.
Oh, cool. Also, great. I'm not gonna ask why is about to happen because it's dinner time. So I'm gonna Nathan like will relax into that and enjoy the massage for while it lasts. Oh, didn't mean to do that. When the massage is over and like I'm alerted to the fact that like dinner's almost ready, he's gonna make a quick dash to his room to like essentially like change, even though we're all wearing like white robes. He still wants to like has weird socially awkward sense of like I must change. I feel the need to put on another robe, I guess.
As
But
you
yeah,
head out
when
to
he
go change, I like all that.
mm-hmm.
There's a wading pool on the grounds.
Mm-hmm.
You saw some people splashing around in it earlier, but now it's completely empty, except for a cloaked figure standing on top of the water like Jesus, humming a song that you recognize from childhood. What song is it?
I'll think about that for a while and look up songs from that time.
And extending a beckoning hand toward you. I would like the day move to keep your composure or to keep your nerve. What do you afraid is going to happen if you don't?
You know that scene in Two Towers in the dead marshes when Frodo just falls face first into the marsh? Yeah, just gonna get a little hypnotized and just right into the pool.
I love it.
Yeah.
Roll with sensitivity, actually.
Oh, yeah. Okay. sensitivity. Do I get disadvantage?
Nope.
In my conditions? Good. All right, cool. Then I will roll 2 dice. All right. 2 dice. That is a 10.
Nice. You're in control here. What do you do?
Nathan kind of stares at the cloaked figure, lost in a brief trance-like state, both lost in the strangeness of the situation, but also like the song as it washes over him. I feel like he just reaches out towards the figure as well with an upturned palm, almost as if he's expecting to like receive something, or like just like this kind of like, even though there's distance between them, just like a touching from a distance, just kind of like reaching out for the figure hypnotically. But when he blinks, the figure is gone, and he kind of comes to his senses again, just like looks left, looks right, looks at his hand, just like slowly like lowers it awkwardly and quickly like hastily makes his way, trying to process that.
If you don't have an idea for the song, I think it was the Barney song.
Oh, that's terrifying. Yeah, well, we'll go with that, I guess. Why not?
Very good. Ashley Oaks. Your clue. You were sort of describing how you're essentially kind of tuning in here in these ley lines, which I like very much. And what you tune into is the sound of a music box, which is looping a music box version of Every Breath You Take by the Police. That's your clue. And then you notice on the other side of one of these weird audio pillars, no one else seems to notice it, but you do. You see one of those gray media carts, like the teacher used to wheel out on movie day, with the TV and the VCR, the TV strapped to it with nylon straps. It's not plugged in, but it's on. What do you do?
The TV is like on. It's like it's playing something, or it's just like
a
working.
blue screen. Yeah, it's working,
Mm.
despite the fact there's no power.
I think she'll go to the TV and just to see if it's doing anything, like push the power button and like try to see if there's anything more, if it's giving her something, or if Topher shows up, just like anything.
Yeah, Topher, you can be there.
Yeah.
Oh, it worked. You're here.
I think Topher is in like the uniform, and it sort of is showing an ad for Converge, and Topher is one of the staff in this ad, and they just kind of look around. Huh. I don't like these clothes.
I mean, you look good in them.
Thanks. It's a little too
Guilty.
I was gonna say more like it feels like if I walked in direct sunlight, I would flashbang anyone in a 10-meter radius.
Also probably that. Hey, how did you get here? And I don't like necessarily mean in this spot. I just mean where you are right now.
Well, when a mom and dad love each other very much,
Yeah, usually that's how I get to be. That's where people are in this space, and you're in a TV.
okay. Oh, all right. That makes a lot more sense. I'm a little fried. There's So, you know that the Halston guy,
Mm-hmm.
he's just being weird. He's putting null into every single cell of a 1,000 cell spreadsheet individually, one at a time. No copy paste, typing it, chicken scratch, peck, 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 enter. It's horrible. Anyways,
I
I
mean, you gotta fill the
genuinely
day.
don't really know how I got here. I do think that I might. Well, I remembered something the other night. Uh, when Nathan helped Linnea. I think I might have figured out why it's different for me. Maybe. I had this
What do you
imaginary friend when I was little. I called him Jerry. It's like a person made out of static, right? And whenever they talked, it would just kind of, you know.
Mhm.
I could understand him though. And well, there was one day I was, sitting down watching TV with him, and he said something like he has to go to protect me to make sure that I'm not forgotten. And when I hugged him, saying goodbye, like my only friend, because I was a pretty lonely kid, he like melted into me, and I don't know. That's the only thing that I can think of. Like maybe it wasn't an imaginary friend after all. The weird, well, probably the weirdest part of that though is that my mom, before everything happened, um, she said that whenever I was talking with Jerry or watching TV with him, I was just sitting cross-legged in front of TV static for like 2.5 hours.
I think as you say that, Ashley kind of, to comfort you, will also sit down cross-legged to kind of mimic that. She says, but you remember Jerry. Why do we not remember Nathan or Sean? Why did you come back and now you're gone again? Why do I remember you?
I don't know. I I guess they just didn't have a Jerry of their own.
It's, it's just I I cried for him. I don't even know who he is, but I cried for him, and you have no idea how much that means and how rare that is. I haven't cried since I was 11 and my mom died. It doesn't make sense. If I don't remember him, then I shouldn't remember him. But something is still there, something lingers. So that means that maybe the memories aren't gone, they're just hidden and I can find them again. Maybe they are where you are.
Maybe, but if they are, I haven't seen them, and the only place I could think to find memories here would be trying to go back to Rodenbecker and grabbing tapes out of the fucking weird cameras and rewinding them. And I don't even know if that would work.
Well, it might be worth a try if
I found a tape the other day, actually, in one of the cameras. It's not an Odyssey tape, but it's weird. Um, it's called, it's just labeled Chili Cook-Off 87. Uh, unclear. It's not an Odyssey tape. It doesn't have the clamshell, but I get real bad vibes off of it, especially considering I grabbed it out of, I don't know, hell.
Hmm. Yeah. Hey, if I go where you are, will you forget me?
I hope not. You're one of the only friends I've ever made.
I mean, maybe not. Maybe you had thousands of friends. They're all just gone.
Oh,
I
yeah.
actually don't know if that's worse. That might be way worse.
Guess we might not ever know.
Probably not. But I am glad that I didn't forget you. And if I ever do, then it's not because I didn't love you.
Same here. I, yeah. Thank you for being here for me, even when I'm not physical, I guess. And I think that the commercial for Converge, there's like the gong sounds and someone shouts, dinner time. And Topher's legs start carrying them that way in the television. They're like, okay, well, I guess it's time for me to head out. I will, I don't know, try and wait, is this a field? Why is this TV out here? And then it just turns off.
Moonfather approaches Ashley and says, "A group of us are getting ready to head back to the dining hall. Do you want to join us?"
I think I'll stay here for another moment, if that's okay.
Of course, it's a very special place.
It really is.
Sean, you and Tets are headed over to the conservatory. It's a perfectly cylindrical structure about 2 stories high, and it's down a sloping hill at the center of terraced gardens. Musicians of all sorts are here pushing their craft to a transcendent level. Gramophone horns are set into the walls of the structure, channeling sound from the studios inside to the surrounding space, where guests snack, nap, and meditate. Tet says, "They say there's an underground archive beneath the conservatory that stores every recording made at Converge since its inception." Can you imagine? Can you even imagine that? All those secret recordings, all those strokes of genius just waiting down there in a vault for a group of people to go plunder it, Goonies style. Have you seen Goonies?
I love the Goonies.
I love the Goonies too. I'm a big Stephen King fan. We should definitely find our way down there.
I'm in.
Hey, you guys, you know all that.
No, yeah, let's do it. Do you have any idea where the entrance might be?
It's like, not exactly, but I'm feeling the need for adventure.
Let's do it.
I think as you walk in, he wasn't joking about the level of people who are here. In fact, you see the famous cellist, Best Tiryaki, Turkish cellist. Yo-Yo Ma might get headlines for being the greatest living cellist, but the people who really know swear by this Turkish woman instead. She's stoic, she's serious, she's private. She's presently wearing layers of dark charcoal wool clothing, no jewelry. And she's just caught in her reverie, playing her cello wildly. You see a few other people that you might maybe don't know by name, but they seem vaguely familiar. Everyone's in their own little booths. Some people are not in booths. They're just playing wildly out, creating this bizarre cacophony inside the cylinder. It's incredible, isn't it? Ted says. To be here in this nexus of pure oral creation.
Yeah, that it's loud.
So this Triforce, what's that all about?
Oh, it represents the union of strength, wisdom, and
Power. Or it's power,
thank you.
wisdom, and power. It's power, wisdom, and love, I think. I don't remember. In any case, Tets will say, I love that.
Courage.
Oh, courage. I love that. That's so Converge, you know?
Yeah, just yeah, I guess so.
Bitchin'. All right, come on. Nathan, are you changed?
Yeah, he's changed.
I
got
think
Benjamin. Yeah.
you run into a kind of an older man wearing a kind of silk kimono kind of situation, barefoot, big, thick glasses. He's like, hi there.
Hi.
Dr.
How
Cal
can
Laguna.
Your name is Dr. Cal Laguna?
Dr. Cal Laguna. Yes, that's right. I'm sure you've heard of me.
No. Are you a doctor here at the are you a guest or an employee?
I'm a guest.
Oh, okay, cool. Nice.
Yes.
No, not familiar. Nathan Toomey, you probably have never heard of me.
Nathan, I don't want you to take this the wrong way,
Okay,
but
I
I
do take
sense
most things
that
like that, but
you're experiencing a little bit of anxiety right now.
yes.
You know, I have a theory about anxiety.
Do you? Okay, I'm listening.
I believe that our brains are capable of forming like little bugs that live somewhere in the prefrontal cortex. These little bugs grow and they send out pangs of anxious energy. And the only way to truly cure anxiety is to get in there, trepan the skull, get in there with scalpel, take that little bug out.
You are talking metaphorically, right?
Oh, no. I'm Dr. Cal
Oh.
Laguna, experimental surgeon.
Ah, I see. Okay. Well, where did you get this insight as to the nature of human anxiety?
Trial and error.
I assume lots of error.
Well, my experiments have, I can't deny it, directly injured hundreds, but every success has indirectly helped thousands, I'm sure.
You duly noted. Okay,
I'd
well,
love to get in there and try to find that little bug.
so it's unfortunate that we're nowhere near a hospital or operating room.
Oh, I've got everything I need in my room.
Bet you too. So what brings you to Converge, Dr. Laguna?
Well, I have a theory about the
Another.
eardrums.
Yeah, bugs
Yeah.
too?
No,
Okay.
different thing.
All right. Worms.
No.
Oh,
I think
okay.
I have a theory about curing deafness.
Really? Okay,
I do.
that's pretty big in the medical world. Yeah.
Do you know what it involves?
Does it involve cutting out the ears?
It does involve quite a lot of surgery. Yes, that's true.
Uh-huh. Okay. I'm all right. I'm listening. No pun intended.
I can't help myself. Every day I see sickness in the society. It's depressing. But my oath is to change that.
I thought the oath was to do no harm.
I interpret it slightly differently.
Cool.
I interpret it as do harm if you must, but do much more good.
Did you? Hey, oh, dinner gong. Crazy. Did you hear that?
He's like, oh, yes. Oh, yes. You should let me tell you sometime about all the people I helped with weight loss using experimental surgery.
Yeah, Nathan is already trying to turn to leave, but kind of like stops and like has a thought and just goes, "Yeah, no, absolutely. We should talk about that. I mean, just throwing it out there, lots of weird. I mean, not weird. Sorry, lots of interesting people here at the resort. Anyone else stick out to you as someone you'd really like to, work
Do
your craft
surgery
on?
on.
Yeah,
Go ahead and roll the meddling move with presence.
Which I'm so good at as Nathan. Okay, so that's plus nothing. Yeah, why not? Oh, 10.
He kind of like gives you a wide smile. He's a close talker. You know, those people kind of get real
Oh,
close.
yeah, I hate them.
Likes to get real close. And like as he gets close and puts his arm around you, you can tell he's not wearing anything under his kimono either.
Oh my God.
So, and he says, yeah, there are some really strange characters here. I wonder, just as a thought experiment, if there's a way to deal with personality disorders, surgically speaking. That's neither here nor there.
I mean, it's called a lobotomy, but okay.
And let me give you your clue. Give me a moment. I need to think about it.
Okay. Yeah, you're good.
Let's check in with the other characters. Ashley, Topher, what are you going to do right now? Where are you at? Where are you headed? You going to go back to Tweeterd's or continue to Tweeterd's?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's just cut over to that. So, of course, as I noted before, a few feet past the property line, 4 walls of speakers are piled as high as a house, all facing toward each other, nestled within a complex web of cables. Beneath the wavy metal roof sits Tweeterd's Hi-Fi, an audio equipment shop famed for replicating the sound of being in the same space as the recorded artist. It's scrappy and bohemian in a way that Converge's owners absolutely hate. The resort's clientele are drawn here anyway. In fact, you see some people there, even now. Where else can they spend $1,000 on speaker cable hand braided with Elvis's hair, for example? Let's go ahead and paint the scene. What newly arrived audio product seems more like a mystical relic than electronic placebo?
I think there's one of those. I'm not sure of the English word, but it's like essentially like a bowl, and you have to, like ring it like
Yeah.
this. And I
Tibetan
think
drums.
Tibetan drums. Okay. Yeah, so I think
Tibetan
there's
bowls,
like
yeah.
Tibetan bowls, but they like something has automated it. So it's like just seemingly by itself, it's just twirling and making this like ringing sound.
There's a mouth harp on a pedestal that's like encased in glass that when at least the plaque that is in on this pedestal says that when someone plays this mouth harp, they are able to perfectly recreate any song they wish on the mouth harp.
There is a like it's a weird kit bash like gramophone kind of thing with like the turning wheel needle thing. But it's this like wooden box. If anyone's ever seen the German show Dark on Netflix, the kind of like the big like clockwork contraption kind of like so like but the disc is like a sandstone like old kind of like clay or pottery or something like that disc that is really scratchy and seems quite old.
I think there is a tuning fork with allegedly a tiny piece of Luciano Pavarotti's vocal cords inside.
Dr. Cal Laguna had something to do with that, I'm sure. Very good. Topher, what do you do? You're there.
I really want to check out just all of this weird stuff. Like originally the plan was like go over here because this is where the most electronics are, so maybe I could communicate with someone, but now I'm very, very curious.
Nice. So how are you searching, or what are you doing?
I think like if all of this weird shit is in the front of the store, what kind of whack stuff do they have in the back room?
Nice. Go ahead and do the meddling move with reason. And I'm going to put you at disadvantage in case there's the harmony might be here.
I think Mr. W's watching my back, make sure that
Okay,
nobody sneaks
good.
up on me in the ghost world.
Very good. You can cancel out the disadvantage if you mark that.
Wow. 4.
Very good. We'll come back to this. Sean. So the thing is Tetz is very, despite his despite the call to adventure, Tetz is very easily distracted by various musicians and things and musical things going on. And he's a little bit hard to wrangle in this moment. In fact, he'll probably just abandon you at some point. What do you do?
He'll kind of watch him for a couple minutes, waiting for him to return before finally just going, okay, all right, I see how this is. And kind of smiling and nodding to everyone he passes as he starts heading towards employees only door.
Oh, good. I want the day move. What do you afraid is going to happen if you fail to intercept this sort of off limits section?
There will be an employee right on the other side of the door.
Indeed. Go ahead and roll with composure.
Five.
I think as you go inside, just when you think you've like made it and everything is clear, you hear a young woman's voice. Hello, can I help you?
Sean's going to turn slowly, a very robotic smile on his face.
You see a young woman. She's probably a college student. She's that age at least. You can definitely smell pot in this space. I'm pretty sure she was just smoking. And she's like, can I help you?
Maybe you can actually. Mr. Falcone just sent me to try and find some
Pot.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, sure. Do you get high?
It sometimes happens, yeah.
Cool. Okay. Well, tell Mr. Falcone that she kind of gives you a rundown of all the stuff she's got, prices and everything, talking to you about various, I don't know how you categorize pot, various vintages or something, and telling you what's what.
I could go up. I know so much about weed, but I won't.
He's going to listen, his eyes steadily growing wider as she lists the prices, and he'll say, well, I mean, Mr. Falcone, it's got to be the best of the best, right?
Right. Yeah. Okay, cool.
And can we just charge it to his room?
That's not exactly how the illegal drug trade works, but okay. I can definitely go pick up payment in his room, though, if you leave the money somewhere. I am housekeeping staff.
Oh, okay, yeah. No, that would be awesome. Thank you.
I've got to make a few other deliveries anyway. Don't buy all this like oral harmonic bullshit. Everyone here is just getting high in different ways. I've also got ayahuasca. I've got a little bit of LSD.
Okay.
People
So
just come to places like this to get fucked up, but they try to have this veneer of spirituality on top of it. Rich
I mean, that
people, you
makes
know.
sense,
Sorry,
yeah.
are you rich? You don't look it.
Thanks.
I'm pretty sure rich people
Yeah.
don't play The Legend of Zelda.
Hey, you're the first person to know what that is.
Yeah, well, and I'm also a housekeeper, so, you know, do what you will with that.
Yeah, no, I'm here. It doesn't matter actually, but like something is off about this place, right?
Oh, do you think?
Okay. Yeah,
What
good.
what
Not
gave it
just me.
away?
No, I mean like, more than just the usual woo-woo crystal shit, right?
Yeah, there's definitely some weird cult shit going on. 100%.
Like, okay. Do you like know anything about that?
She's like, well, look. And she like points out a window, and just outside the window, you can see a circle of nude figures in wooden masks thrashing each other with wire lashes. She's like, this kind of shit goes on all the time.
Uh, okay. Wow, just total.
Why are
Okay,
you
yeah.
here? You don't seem like the normal convergent,
No, I guess I'm not.
convergicenti, if you will.
I guess I'm kind of here to. I'm like a secret shopper.
Oh, okay. I just thought maybe you were possibly like maybe Tetz's assistant or something,
No, just
getting
I
his
think he
weed for
adopted me.
him. Oh, hmm. I mean, he's on a sort
Um,
of like, you know, he's on a sort of like friend rebound right now, so I wouldn't look too much into that or put too much stock in it.
yeah, that's fair. But he comes here a lot. Like, is he?
Lately, yeah. Golden Boom's gonna get back together. Everybody knows it.
I mean, they need him, and he kind of needs them. Don't tell him I said that, but yeah.
Yeah, okay, whatever. All right, so cool. And she closes the blinds on that bizarre scene out the window. um,
I think it never gets really serious though, right? Like no one gets killed or anything.
she's like, how would I know? My shift ends at 5.
I mean, presumably you clean things. I feel like maybe you'd see you and me, we're the kind of people who see the things they don't want us to see, right? They
Go ahead
don't
and make the
even
meddling
notice
move
us.
with presence.
That's 11.
Okay, so I owe you a clue. Tover has a miss. Nathan, do you have a clue? You have an outstanding clue too, don't you?
Yep, I just get one.
And Ashley, what are you doing right now? Everybody else has left the center of the universe, leaving you there with the TV and the various audio being piped in from all over the world.
She whirls around and in good 2004 fashion gives it like a good slap as you do when your TV isn't working. And she says, all right, I know you're one of them. You're a giant man in a cowboy hat and a bow tie who gave us an Odyssey tape. So tell me what the fuck is up so I can fix it. And I'm going, if you allow it, use my what Nintendo don't, and I get a 12 plus on any action as long as I do it with style or if I'm cocky.
Oh, and you're trying to communicate with Big Man, right?
Yes.
Okay, let me pull up. This is a good place for a break. Let's take 5. Nathan Toomey. You're having this close conversation with Dr. Cal Laguna when a young woman, another guest, is walking by. She's got like a pile of blonde hair kind of up on her head, wearing sunglasses, and she's pretty young. She looks very much like a kind of Instagram type, wearing a robe. And Cal says, "That's Gladys Grove, local citrus heiress, the Grove family. They changed their name to Grove for business purposes."
Oh, I see.
"Gladys, come here, dear. Come meet my friend. This is my friend, whose name is
Nathan.
Nathan." That's
Yeah.
right.
Hi. Nice to meet
He
you.
starts rubbing her shoulders.
Okay. I just got a massage, so actually, you're putting the tension back in there. So
"Gladys, dear,
okay.
let me check that scar. I did a little bit of experimental surgery on Gladys last week." And she kind of shows her side. And indeed, there is a surgery scar. And here's your clue. The surgery scar has been sewn back up, but there are prayer beads in the
I hate that.
stitches.
I hate that so much. Oh God, that must be uncomfortable.
She's like, "Yeah, it's totally fine. And I think it's working, Dr. Cal. I'm feeling much more relaxed." He's like, "That's good. That's wonderful. So glad to hear it. We'll have to have a little debrief soon. I'm going to make sure I coalesce some thoughts and share this with my colleagues in the
Wow.
field of experimental surgery."
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Wow. Yeah. Hey, so Dr. Cal, where do you aside from here at the resort, where do you practice? Where are you based out of?
Here and there.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Now, I don't know about you two young folk, but I could use some chow, so I'm heading over to the dining hall.
Sounds good. Good.
I've often wondered what it would be like if instead of eating food with our mouths, we could eat it with another part of our body.
Okay, Cronenberg. Enjoy the meal.
Meanwhile, Sean, what do you do when you're done with Andy is her name? Do I owe you a clue? I can't remember.
I'm owed 2 clues, actually.
Oh,
One
2.
from when he was in the pool with Tets, and from the housekeeper.
Interesting. Okay. Well, I think the Tets clue is going to be they're coming by offering the people who are receiving treatments and treatment, people who are maybe hungry but don't want to go to the dining hall, they're coming by, the workers are, and offering loaves of bread that have been scored with runes on top of the bread loaves when they were baked. Various recognizable runestone type runes, but also a shuffle icon, like on an iPod. But in any case, that's your clue. And then with Andy, she says, "Okay, listen. I experienced something earlier today, and I'm pretty sure it's because I'm extremely fucking high right now. But I just want to confirm. Maybe you could confirm that I am in fact incredibly high and I did not see what I think I saw.
I'll do my best.
My Walkman's over there. Go ahead and pop that open. Tell me what you see inside.
Yeah, Sean, we'll do that.
You pop open the Walkman and there's a beating heart inside of it. Do make the day move. What do you afraid is going to happen if you lose your nerve right now?
He'll toss the Walkman, losing the clue and possibly Andy's trust.
Okay, go ahead and roll with composure.
7.
How do you feel?
I'm kind of torn between Sean being really freaked out and also acknowledging that he has seen worse.
We'll just put you on edge for now.
Okay. Yeah, I think he's looking at it and his eyes are going wide and he's just that I'm not high. And I see that. Is it?
Okay.
You didn't do that.
I didn't put a beating heart inside my Walkman. No, I did not do that.
Does it
Always
play
have
music?
a beating heart in it? No.
No. If you does it play anything?
I don't know. And then she puts on the headphones and says, press play.
Yeah, Sean will.
And she just like kind of laughs. She's like, wow, this is really something. And she hands you the headphones. It's playing My Heart
Very
Will Go
slowly.
On by Celine Dion.
Oh no. Oh God. Okay. Sean will take out the headphones and say, okay, I'm gonna let you keep that.
I'm going home for the day. So you keep that. And let's never talk about this again.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
I'm not likely to ever come back.
I don't blame you.
All my drugs are in that cabinet, though. So go ahead. Help yourself. You're going to need it.
Oh. Okay. Yeah. Thanks.
You can put Andy's stash in your corner of the house. Meanwhile, Topher, you got a miss. It's a soft reaction because it's the meddling move, but nevertheless. They do have some equipment back there. One particular device, it looks really similar to that thing Ed Rogelski had, that setup with the signal that that transmitted the signal that destroyed you. Tweeter D is back there and he doesn't seem to be aware of you, but he flips it on. But instead of causing you to fully blink out of existence, it's pulling you back from the chromatic desert. You can feel it. You can just let this roll go and take the ride. Otherwise,
I mean, yeah, that's really cool. I gotta know what the fuck is happening here. Yeah, I'm rolling with it.
Mr. W didn't make the journey.
Never mind. I'm marking a mask. No. Never mind. I don't care that much.
I think you can still, you're still aware of Mr. W. He's just in the chromatic desert.
No, my special boy, my best boy.
So you're turning a key?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm turning the last key of the future that I have, other than the pure white signal,
Or
the wandering
key
monolith.
of desolation, yeah.
Or yeah, did I say key of the signal?
The future, you were thinking of the between.
Ah,
The pure white signal, you're dying?
no, the wandering monolith.
Oh, okay.
No.
Very good. So that doesn't happen instead. But I will tell you, you can resist it. But Tweeter has a machine or a piece of electronics that can pull things from the chromatic desert. It's a clue, and it's just an interesting thing to know about as well. Ashley Oaks. The big man appears before you. He is not like you remember him, or at least when he was in Deep Lake. Now he's like he has been in the dreams. He's immense. He towers over you in the middle of the desert, godlike, with a face that burns like the sun. In fact, at first you might even think it's the setting sun that's his head, but it's not. It's his head. He says, his voice warm and benevolent. Ashley Oaks, you are no longer the fool. Perhaps you never were. You are the high priestess now. Are you ready for your journey into the deep place?
Where are we going?
We aren't going anywhere. I have brought you 3 gifts, and the gifts are suddenly arrayed before you. 2 of them are clues. The first, a wood carving of a hand, the first 2 fingers and thumb touching as if to hold something. The second, a Where's Waldo book. Waldo with a group of aliens, an alien rave. The third, an Odyssey tape. The tape you're given, Animal Kingdom Pure White. You're very close now. Or I should say, it is very close to you. TV Odyssey will be revealed very soon now. You have all the pieces you need to complete this puzzle, High Priestess. The more subtle and perhaps sinister puzzle of your exact nature is something you will have to work out on your own, and I hope it is not to the detriment of your fellows. But just know, should you venture too deep, should you find that you need to be maintained, I am prepared to have you in my garden, where I watch over all the monsters of the world.
Yeah, that sounds like a fitting place for me. How do we kill them? No, actually, I don't care about that. How do I keep them safe?
Surely we have known each other long enough now for you to know I'd never offer direct answers to your queries.
No, but I guess it was worth a shot.
I miss donuts. And then he disappears.
She's just says to thin air. See if I can grab some next time.
Indeed. I think that wraps the day phase. Let's head over to dusk. Take a look at the things we must do. Sean, I don't think I ever gave you your clue for the truth is out there.
I keep forgetting it.
You can say what it is, but whatever it is, you find it in your room, on your bed, waiting on you. You all have 2 Odyssey tapes to watch. Are you going to watch one?
In the words of Edna Mode, no tapes.
Nathan always votes for no tapes.
This is me voting for no tapes.
I think it would be really cool if we watched an Odyssey tape at Convergence, but I also think it would be potentially cooler if we watched the Chili Cook-Off tape at Converge.
I will say I'm fine with the Chili Cook-Off tape. We cannot watch an Odyssey tape at Convergence.
Yeah, we can.
There's
What
a
do you
TV and a
mean?
VCR in the
No,
desert.
because I know what happens if we do, and I don't want
So
that
do
to happen.
I. I think that's
Ashley
so
turned a
cool.
key to find that TV.
Right? I turned a
I don't
key.
want to end the campaign yet.
And
Ashley
I
turned a
didn't read
key.
anything. I didn't read anything because I don't do spoilers. So I'm
Right.
going in guns ablaze. No, I'm fine either way.
I'm with Alex.
Cook-Off.
That's 2 votes, no tape.
Like I said, I'm
Howard.
fine with watching the cook-off because that's not an Odyssey tape. But I'm also fine with just having like a role-played night at the resort, doing scenes and such like. So like it's either the cook-off or hang out. I'm fine either way.
I like the cook-off. I want to do the cook-off.
Sure. Let's watch the cook-off.
I do like the idea of the Latchkeys after their weird day at Convergence, Ashley letting us know that she found a TV, and we're just like, well, we do have this non-Odyssey tape, so let's just, I guess, check it out. What's on there? Like,
I'm sure this will be fun.
well, actually, Jason, let me ask you this: the special rule doesn't apply because this is not an Odyssey tape, or will the special rule?
It's not
still
an Odyssey
apply?
tape, so the special
Okay,
rule
gotcha.
will not apply.
Then I'm cool with it.
So you're all going to watch the Decoya County or the Chili Cook-Off 86, I think? Is it 87, 86?
I think it's 87.
87, yeah. Very good, very good. Fantastic. That is a good point in the notes. It's not immediate.
Big mystery. Big mystery, big bad guys.
I still want to solve Convergence. I don't want to immediately lose access to solving this mystery.
Okay, so we know what we're doing. That's great. You don't get an option for what you're going to be doing during the upcoming night phase when you watch the Chili Cook-Off tape. So know that.
This I'm excited for because it's a entirely new mechanic. So
Well, it's kind of it's not done yet. I'm going to be
I know, yeah.
I'm going to be improvising a little bit, but yeah.
But it's still going to be really cool.
Good. Do we have any unresolved key prompts right now?
Yeah.
Do you want to do it now, or do you want to wait?
I can do mine now unless Ashley wants to go first.
Go ahead. I'll do it after.
So this is a flashback to the moment when you realized your parents were imperfect. We see a teenage Topher with his mother's scarf packing a box in their bedroom. Their cheeks are flushed from crying. Her foster parents are having a screaming match in the living room as the three other teenagers in the home loudly blast music to drown out their parents' voices. No, Janice, I will not have any more of this. It is not natural for a kid to spend so much time alone and to never want to interact with their peers. Well, Harold, maybe if you weren't such an asshole to them and actually treated them the same like you treat our three, they'd be more inclined to spend time with you and the kids. But they aren't. They never were, and they never will be. It was your idea to do this stupid foster parent shit to begin with, when we were already had more than enough mouths to feed. If I have to hear that brat whine one more goddamn time about their stupid fuck, and Topher does not hear the rest as they climb out of the window to their bedroom with everything they'd ever owned in the box and backpack and begins walking.
Fantastic. Any others?
Yeah. So we see Ashley 9, 10-ish. She's walking around in like that forest that we've seen her dance in before. But this time she is crying. She is very visibly and very deeply upset about something that she's seen, and she's crying and calling out for her father. And then she stumbles into these other people. We see Dr. Sky with her braid full of flowers. And as soon as the other people see her when she's crying, Dr. Sky has this very contemptful look on her face. And then everyone just sort of starts just like starts mimicking her crying, but in this very exaggerated, dramatic way. They all start rocking as they hold themselves, except for Dr. Sky, who just looks at Ashley's father and says, I think it's time. She has had enough treatment. She should be better by now. Please control your daughter. And Ashley is still crying. He says, Daddy, Daddy, I saw them. Mommy, I think she's hurt. I think she's hurt. And she just keeps crying, holding out her arms for her father to pick her up. But everyone is still mimicking her, still rocking in this rhythmic, almost trance-like manner as they all just keep shouting and wailing and crying, snot and tears just dripping from their faces, these horrifyingly distorted faces, as her father is very visibly trying to clamp down on any emotion. And he walks up to her and crouches down and says, Ashley, sweetie, I know you're upset, but you know that we don't cry. You know that if you want to be a good girl, you can't cry. You know that, right? You're not a baby anymore. You're not a child. You're a good girl, right? You're a big girl now, and big girls don't cry. Big girls don't cry. And he's looking around as Ashley's, no, Daddy, I think Mommy got hurt. I think they did something to her. And she's just wiping her eyes. And she says, Ashley, come on. Look at what you're doing, huh? Look at how upset everyone is. Is that what you want? Do you want people to be upset because of you, Ashley? Do you want them to cry because of you, Ashley? Come on now. You know what you need to do? You know that you need to be a good girl. And Dr. Sky kind of looms over her father's shoulder as she just stares down at Ashley. And her father is holding her shoulders, his hands clamping down so we can see the white of her skin as he says, "You need to be a good girl now. Okay, be a good girl now." And Ashley, seeing all these people so deeply upset because of her, because she has this evil, vile emotion inside of her that she needs to purge because she needs to be good and she wants to be loved. And she doesn't want this feeling of all these people ripping out this sadness of her and her infecting all these people with her sadness and her childishness. And she starts contorting her face until she smiles, still crying. And then she says, "It's okay. I'm not upset. It's fine." "There you go. You're fine, aren't you?" "Yeah, I'm fine. I'm a good girl." And then we cut back to the present.
Very good. The Great Nagoya County Cook-Off. 1987 edition. The four of you, Nathan, Topher, Ashley, Sean, and Mr. W, are all riding along in Nathan's open top Jeep on break from the University of New Mexico. Nathan, what do you study at the University of New Mexico?
Suddenly all knowledge of academic fields of study have left my head. Let me ask Jason a quick follow-up question just so I can clarify something. Is this going to be dude named Nathan that's not this Nathan?
It is Nathan, but not this Nathan.
Gotcha. It's another Nathan. Gotcha. This Nathan studies. You know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna totally go a different direction. This Nathan is on a sports scholarship, basketball.
Very good. I like it.
Go Lobos.
Go Lobos.
Sean, the four of you have been friends ever since you were kids. You actually originally met in Deep Lake, which is where you're headed right now. And you went to high school together. You all went to college together. What's the craziest thing the four of you ever did?
Does it have to be like sitcom benign?
It can be whatever you want. But these are just normal college kids, if that helps.
Okay. I was thinking a little. I know
what you did last summer.
but,
Yeah.
no, I think they actually stole the college's mascot and the costume.
Is it Mr. W?
Oh no, that's better. We stole the Mr. W and
is he a local high school mascot? It's pretty good.
There we go. And took him around New Mexico, taking pictures in different places and sending it back to the school.
Nice. Good. I love it. I love it. So good. Ashley, you and Nathan dated for a while, but it didn't work out. Why?
Because he never talked. He never like told me anything, right? It was like talking to a wall and like nothing happened. Like you couldn't get emotion or anything out of it. It was just there was nothing.
Topher, you're the only person in the group who's aware of 2004 Deep Lake and those characters and all that stuff that's going on. And you're headed to Deep Lake right now. It's the summer. Each year, the best chili chefs in New Mexico gather at the Moroccan Hotel and Convention Center in La Fresca. Actually, going to La Fresca, not Deep Lake. To compete for fame, favor, and a $250 Sears gift card in the Great DeGoya County Chili Cook-Off, with dozens of competitors and chili enthusiasts descending on the town for 4 days of special exhibitions and events. The Cook-Off is one of the county's most important tourism events. And we shall learn more about it next week. Let's go ahead and do stars and wishes.
Yeah, I'm happy to kick things off. Star to the scene between Ashley and Topher was really, really good. That was an excellent moment of both their friendship, and it was like really emotional and just like it, plucked at the heartstrings a lot. That was really great. And then I loved the scene with Ashley and the big man. Like that was very, very cool, with the whole like setting sun turning into his head and him and the items in the high priestess quote. It just really rad. Just so that's an overall star for Jason. Just the framing of scenes at Convergence today were really cool, especially with the hooded figure on the pool. These NPCs all suck, and I love how they were brought to life. I love Sean's interactions with Tets Falcone. Those were particularly funny. I also just love him being like Philistines and like storming off, really just getting more and more territory of Sean, just being so fed up with the fact that none of his housemates are into any of the what he considers major pop cultural touchstones. From first it was Jean-Claude Van Damme, and now it's Tets Falcone. Yeah, Topher, I so deeply respect you almost wanting to have the meat beam be a thing that stayed in the narrative, but I would have respected you killing off Topher for that moment, because I get it, but also I'm glad you didn't. But that was also funny, and just extra little bonus star for the whole like, yeah, fuck it, I'm gonna go through. Actually, never mind. I don't want my dog to be left behind. Just absolutely insistent on no. That was funny. Yeah, wishes. I wish we never, ever, ever, ever watch a tape at an Odyssey tape at Convergence, unless I'm overruled. I'm actually curious to see how the chili cook-off goes, because I know that this is kind of a new mechanic, and it's kind of like the trophy dark side story equivalent for public access. And yeah, I this is also kind of like a side star, I guess, is that like the whole like, oh, you're using your character names, but you're different versions of yourselves, except for Topher who knows, is really cool. I wasn't expecting that, and I'm really interested to see how that plays out, because
It's because Topher's in the Chromatic Desert.
yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah.
Which I think is so cool, because I just remember from like the original like concept pitch of the mechanics, it was like, oh, you get to now play different characters. But I'm into this. I don't know. This I was surprised in a really pleasant way.
Oh,
of, like,
it may still be that. I just don't have that ready. So
oh, gotcha.
But if this is cool, it might be this way too. So I don't know. We'll see.
I'm just happy to see it play out, because I think it's a really cool mechanic. Anywho, that's me.
Yeah, I'm going to call them lost transmissions. So I was going to call them signals from the other side, but there's already a thing in the game called signals from the other side. So they're going to be called lost transmissions instead. So.
Yeah, I can go. For stars, yeah, I love Sean just more and more embracing his fanboy side. And I really love that conversation where Nathan was like, who are you talking about? And you go like, you. That was so funny. I thought that was really funny. I loved the beating heart. Like Sean's reaction to, yeah, that sucks. Also seen worse. Like at this point, we're all just really fucked up, you know. I thought that was really funny. For Nathan, I I really love like you playing just Nathan being like, no, I don't want to be here. Why do I need to relax? Now I'm thinking about relaxing, and that is so stressful. Just all of this felt like Nathan's personal hell, with all of these people being like, "Hey, do you know me?" And I feel like Nathan's probably phase blind, so he's like, "I've never seen any of you in my life." Just like, I don't know what's happening here. I thought you really conveyed that. For Topher, for Steph, yeah, I really loved the moment with Topher. Um, as always, love how you describe them, like in the TV and all of that. I really love your commitment to the voices for the foster parents who deeply, deeply sucked, and I hope they died in like a terrible fire or something. Um, or that Ashley gets to stab them. That would also be great. Um, for Jason, yeah, that moment with the big man was so cool. That high priestess quote was amazing, and like the big man alluding to Ashley's real nature, and then like there's a place for you in my garden where I look over all the monsters. Like, oh, ouch. Oh, that was so good. Also really loved, I just love all the characters. I want to meet, sort of a wish, I want to meet the doctor one, because I think that's very interesting for Ashley given what she's been through and all of that. So I can't wait for that. Yeah, for wishes, I want to meet the doctor person. I want to. We actually have quite a lot of clues, so I think we could
Yeah, you have a
solve
lot of
this.
clues, actually. Yeah.
We did so well. So I think that we could solve it fairly soon if we wanted to. Also,
You got about 2
um,
sessions in the cook-off, though, so I don't think that's going to
oh,
happen
I
anytime
like that.
soon. Yeah.
I love that. That's really fun. Yeah, for the cook-off, then I want to like. I also think it's really cool that you're like a different dimension, you. So I'm very excited to see where that goes, and to see like in what ways these characters are going to be different, in what ways they're going to be the same, and just like see how this all plays out.
There's a very real possibility that you all turn all your keys in the cook-off and we don't finish the campaign, which would be a wild outcome. You would truly be a lost transmission.
That would be wild. That would be so cool, actually.
Additional arguments in the favor of other characters.
Is that everybody?
This was a lot of fun. I loved all of the NPCs. I liked a big star for Andy getting that tape or that beating heart in her Walkman and being like, "Yeah, I quit." That is the most rational response anyone
Once
has
it was
ever had in this
confirmed that she
campaign.
wasn't high, she was like, "Yep, okay,
Yep.
got it." Yeah, it wasn't a hallucination. She was high, but
That was really good. As mentioned, the scene between Topher and Ashley was so good. Also, Steph, I really just your voices, the way you embody the characters, you really get into it, and it's always fun to see. Ashley, the interaction with, or sorry, Jazzy, the interaction with the big man, and kind of owning your capabilities, and also just going all in with those keys and the history. It's always great. Alex, the monologue from Nathan right at the beginning, which was followed up with us all being like, right, that was so good, and every moment of Nathan's discomfort felt so real, and perfect for the character. Really good job there. I'm really curious about what is going on here, and looking forward to seeing this lost signal.
I just a star for the whole general session. I think like the role play in this one was like, I don't know, like transient. It
top
felt
shelf. It was so good.
Yeah, it was incredible. I haven't had this kind of like deep emotional experience while playing a tabletop game before, and I've been doing this for like most of my physical life. It's really incredible. I absolutely love this game. I love these characters that we're playing. There's no one that I would rather be playing this campaign with. It's incredible. I absolutely adore all of Ashley's masks. I love Nathan being just so done with everything all the time. He was one of the more like not necessarily gung-ho, but persistent at the beginning about like, this is why we're here. We should try and do this. And now he's like, no, fuck no. And I love that for him. I really enjoy watching Ben, you play Sean as like a fanboy. It's really fun. I was a little disappointed that we didn't get more of that with Geraldine, so I'm very stoked that we're getting that with Falcone. I think, I don't know, it's just really interesting, all the different personalities that all of our characters have been like latching onto. And yeah, for Jason, I think all of the role playing today on your end especially was like really, really well. There are a lot of side characters in this one to keep track of. Like there's one more than even the character keeper has room for. So it's a lot, and
there's more in
it's
here
very
too.
impressive.
You didn't even meet everybody yet. So.
Jeez, holy moly. Yeah, it's really cool. I'm really excited to see more about the cook-off, and like, yeah, it's such a cool idea having just one of us be like, yeah, and you, by the way, you remember everything. I love that. I hate that. I can't wait to explore that more and see how I almost feel like this might break Topher, because this is such a like an inverse of everything that's happened to them, flipping it on its head so rapidly. There's almost like no rational way to start handling that at all. So I'm very excited for that.
Yeah, stars. I'll echo a lot of the stars that have already been said, but this was just a really, really great session. I will give a star for the mystery itself. This mystery, for folks who are, curious, this was probably the mystery that I personally spent the most time on of the ones I did not write. And the reason for that is because Mike presented this really, really cool setting and situation and characters and all these like really cool ideas. And I loved it so much. And because the original concept was my concept, but he actually wrote it. And I spent a lot of time on editorial on this one because I wanted Convergence to really feel special and different and very much like that next level mystery. Like, and so it's only playable in layer 4. It cannot be played before or whatever the one in layer 4 after the Night of the Bone Wolves. It can only be played, at a certain time. It has like a lot of like implications for the campaign and like how the campaign ends. And so I spent a lot of time like kind of taking Mike's work and then adding my own stuff to it and then melding it really tightly with public access into Goya County as a setting. And so I was just really happy and really pleased with how it turned out. I was like, this is the first time I've run it. And so I was really pleased with how it shook out. It has structurally some things that don't exist in the other mysteries, and all those things worked really great. And so I'm very happy with that. And so, yeah, just to start a Mike and to our editorial process, I guess, for turning this mystery out, which I'm very, very pleased with. I love when I have an opportunity to play fucked up weirdo characters. It's like my favorite thing to do. And Convergence has so many weird characters. And so, and it's a type of character I love to play too. Like I love to play this sort of like vaguely aloof, and like not connecting with the common man kind of like character, like they're just a little bit outside the normal realm of like regular day-to-day understanding of things. And so these were really, really fun. And I love Converge as a setting because it almost does what I love in other types of role-playing games, which is like the mystery village. I love the mystery village, like the isolated village of weirdos, right? Like that's like one of my favorite things to do as a GM. And Converge has that feel in public access, right? So it's really, really great. So I love an opportunity to play cool characters, and it was really fun to kind of bounce back and forth with you all. I had so much fun with Dr. Cal Laguna and Nathan, so much fun with Tets, and Halston was a lot of fun to play as well. And yeah, what everyone said about the big man scene was really, really, I guess, to Jazzy for just like setting that up and doing it, because we haven't had that big, like that kind of big man scene in a while, or since the dreams, basically. And that wasn't even an RP scene, that was just a narration. And so it was really fun to kind of get Big Man in here at the 11th hour of the campaign. For wishes, I'm super curious how this cook-off thing is going to go. My idea, for folks who are curious about what's happening under the hood here with public access, it's not an idea, it's definitely happening. We are creating what are essentially prologue and side stories for public access to keep the campaign going. The idea is these lost transmissions, you each will come with a few hooks that you can use to hook into your ongoing campaign, so that whenever you're ready to do the lost transmission, you've had your hook, into it. And my original thought is that these would be stories with completely different characters. Each mystery would have a bespoke set of 4 characters, each with one move, and there would be there would be 3 common keys shared among the group that you could use to get die rolls bumped up. But then once you play that mystery, those characters are done. And so that's how I think those have to go. That's how they're going to go. But necessity required me to do this one the way we're doing it, which is where it's just your characters, but like a different version of them. And I like that a lot. I'm thinking what I'm going to do, if it works out, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to still do the 3 chili cook-off keys and have those be the only keys you can use on this mystery, and not have access to childhood and desolation. That's how Sweep Sweep works in Bridwood Bay, and I think that might be how we do these as well. And so, but yeah, I'm really curious to see if it works out. I had the idea of only the chromatic desert person knowing what's going on. I had that idea literally 5 seconds before I spoke it aloud. And so that's just how my brain works sometimes. Sometimes it's very fortuitous in that way. And so I'm pleased to see if that works and what kind of role play we get out of it. So it's all on you, Steph, whether I keep this or not. And so
no pressure.
Do me proud. And so I'm just dying to see how it goes. I do think that this is probably going to make it to where we can't finish the campaign before our break, which I'm imposing upon us in September. But that's okay. We can always revisit in November. So, but I think that's all I've got. It's really, really just super fun. Any other stars or wishes? Okay, then in that case, I'm going to say goodbye to folks watching the video. Goodbye, folks watching the video.